Hi everybody, Katie Noland with Mosaic World Travel here. I am making my first video in a little while. It's been a few months since I've had a chance. I've been super busy, which has been amazing. So thank you all for making that happen, for keeping me busy and allowing me to help plan your vacations. It's what I do and it's what I love, so thank you for that. But that is not why I decided to make a video today. Today I wanted to talk about one particular destination, or actually one particular group of destinations that I think a lot of people have on their bucket list, but maybe don't have a good idea of exactly where they want to go. And that destination is Africa. And as a huge continent, there is a lot to see and a lot to do in Africa. And so I am a South Africa specialist, and I have also recently finished planning a safari for one of my clients. So I thought I would just reach out and kind of give a super quick overview of what you can expect from a variety of destinations in the southern part of Africa. Obviously, there are plenty of places to see in northern Africa, but for the purposes of this video, I'm going to stick with southern Africa. So I want to start out with South Africa. Obviously, the very bottom of Africa, there's a lot to see and do there. Johannesburg is really where a lot of people fly into from the US. You may carry on to Cape Town, but you're probably going to stop in Johannesburg. So if you want to spend some time there, it's an amazing place to get a sense of sort of the history of South Africa. You can visit Nelson Mandela's house. You can visit an amazing apartheid museum to give you a little bit of sense of place and history before you start off on those safaris. So that's Johannesburg for sure. I think Cape Town is really a must-see in South Africa. A lot of people tell me that they went to South Africa to go on safari, and they wish they had spent more time in Cape Town. So don't make that mistake. Spend 3, 4, 5 days in Cape Town if you can, because there's a lot to see and a lot to do. Cape Town is home to Table Mountain, which is about 3,500 feet high. It overlooks the city. You can take a cable car up and really get some amazing views of the area. Boulders Beach nearby, it's about an hour outside of Cape Town. Home to African penguins. So if you want to see penguins while you're in Africa, that's really an amazing place to do that. And you can really get up close and personal with those penguins, which who doesn't want that, right? South Africa is also globally known for wines, and the winelands of South Africa outside of Cape Town are an amazing place to do some wine tasting, visit some vineyards, and really get a feel for that part of the culture. There's a wine tram that is hop on, hop off, so you're not drinking and driving, or you can do private tours or group tours. And there are many different vineyards, many different opportunities to really taste South African wines while you're there. The main destination for a lot of people when they head to South Africa is Kruger National Park. It's sort of the entry point for safaris in Africa. A lot of people, that's their first experience with a safari. Home to the Big Five, of course. You can find luxury safari camps, something more intimate, and you really will get that classic South African safari experience that you're imagining. So that's the quick overview for South Africa. Moving north a bit, I want to talk a little bit about Botswana. Botswana is an excellent place to go if you want to see elephants. They have a ton of elephants. Not that there aren't elephants other places in Africa, but Botswana is really one of the key destinations if elephants are really your animal of choice and your animal of interest. There are some amazing luxury camps, or there's one in particular that has a herd of habituated elephants where you can interact with them in a sustainable way and in a way that is good for the elephants. It's something to keep in mind when you're planning your trip to Africa, because there are some shady practices surrounding elephants, and if you're concerned about mistreatment and welfare of elephants, it's really important to either work with a travel agent who knows, or do a lot of research so that you make sure you're not contributing to hurting, harming, taking advantage of elephants. And for the most part, riding elephants off the table if you're really concerned about welfare and well-being for elephants. So just keep that in mind. Botswana is also known for water-based safari experiences. So if you're looking to go out on a boat and see some amazing African wildlife, Botswana is a great place to go. The Okavango Delta is there. Floods annually, so you're going to see a lot of wildlife, grasslands. You can explore via canoe. You can explore on foot. Kind of depends on the time of year as to what you're going to see while you're there. Moving on to Zimbabwe and Zambia. I hate to lump them together because I know that they are individual countries, but for both of them, they're best known for Victoria Falls, which is right on the border between Zimbabwe and Zambia. It's twice as deep, twice as wide as Niagara Falls. So if you've been to Niagara Falls and you think you've seen a waterfall, you're in for quite an experience. You can see the falls from either country. There's debate as to which one is better, which one is a better experience or a better view, and it really depends on what you want out of the experience. If you can see both sides, I highly recommend it, but if you have certain goals or certain preferences, your travel agent can help you decide which side is the best for you to view Victoria Falls from. Want to talk a little bit about Tanzania. It's the largest country in East Africa and known for the plains of the Serengeti, Mount Kilimanjaro, Zanzibar, which is home to some amazing powdery white sand beaches, and the other Indian island oceans are part of that as well. So one other reason that people go to Tanzania is that it's one of the countries that's part of the Great Migration. And the Great Migration is where millions of, or hundreds of thousands of wildebeest and zebras together migrate following the rains in search of grass to eat. And so they're going to cross over the Mara River, trying to avoid the crocodiles that await them in the water. It's really an amazing sight to see. So if you're in Tanzania, if you're in that broader area, try to go at a time when you could experience that Great Migration. It's also an attraction in Kenya. It's sort of that circle. You can go online and see their maps of when you can see what and where. It's pretty cyclical based on the weather conditions. Also within Kenya, the Masai Mara is one of the finest wildlife destinations in the world. You're going to find the big five: cheetah, hippos, crocodiles, baboons, zebras, warthogs. I mean, you name it, really. And you also have the culture of the Maasai, which is one of the best known of the 42 different tribes in Kenya. And so you probably have an image of the Maasai warriors, and that's something you can experience and explore further when you're in Kenya. And the last place I want to talk about is Rwanda. Rwanda is one of those places that's really on my my must-see list, and that is because Rwanda is one of two countries in Africa where you can see the mountain gorillas, the other being Uganda. It's best to visit between mid-December and early February, or June through September, where you're going to experience dry weather. And you're going to be able to trek through the jungle and encounter these amazing creatures pretty much face to face with your guide. And I have heard that it's just a breathtaking, life-changing experience, and that's why it's on my must-do list. Those sorts of encounters, those sorts of amazing experiences are really my favorite types of travel, and I love to plan them and I love to experience them myself. Rwanda is also home to some volcanoes, so you get incredibly rich flora and fauna, you get some amazing vistas, so it's not just about the gorillas. So that's my quick 10-minute overview of Africa. I can't possibly do any of these countries justice in that short amount of time, but it kind of gives you an idea of some of the diversity of all of these countries. And, you know, I didn't even touch on Namibia, I didn't touch on Ghana, I didn't touch on Morocco, which is one of the most amazing destinations in the world, according to me and my, my authority. But yeah, so that's just a quick overview. If you're considering a trip to Africa, I have some amazing connections in Africa. You know, depending upon what sort of budget, what sorts of interests you have while you're there, I can definitely connect you to some amazing experiences, and I can ensure that your trip is really a once-in-a-lifetime, breathtaking experience for you. So if Africa's your place, I'm your girl. Or if you have other adventurous sort of destinations that are a part of your bucket list and you'd like help planning those your travel, I'm happy to do that as well. You can reach me on my Facebook page, Mosaic World Travel. You can reach me on LinkedIn, Katie Noland. You can reach me on Instagram, also Mosaic World Travel, and just comment on this video. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts about Africa. Please don't tell me everything I left out, because I know I left a lot out, but I wanted to give everybody just a quick overview of where they might go on their trip to Africa. So thanks a lot for being a part of the Mosaic World Travel family, and I look forward to planning your vacations here soon. Have a good day.